Good evening, beautiful people of God. Once again, I want to thank you for getting on and um, hearing what needs to be said when it comes to abuse. So I just want to thank everyone for getting on for the last couple of weeks to hear what saith the Lord, really. So tonight, I just want to give you some statistics on abuse, and I want to discuss just a little bit how I got where I'm at today. We do know that I was abused, so but some other things came along with this journey, and I'm here today, speaking out loud and just bringing forth what needs to be said. I did a study today on the statistics of abuse, and I'm just going to give you a little bit about it. In 1999, the United States had 1,218 women and 424 men were killed by intimate partners. 2005 to 2007, there were 2,340 deaths caused by intimate partners violence, making up to a 14% of homicides, and 17% of these deaths were females, and 30% were men. I mean, we do all know that men are abused too. It has been estimated that more than 10 million people experience domestic violence in the United States each year. There are 10 states with the highest rate of female murders by males as of 2010: Nevada, South Carolina, Tennessee, Louisiana, Virginia, Texas, New Mexico, Hawaii, Arizona, and Georgia. In 2019, there was 1.32 million domestic abuse related incidents and crimes reported to police, of which 746,219 were deemed by police to be domestic abuse related criminal offenses. Now, I'm in the state of Delaware, and in the state of Delaware, in 2012, there were 15,103 reported domestic violence incidents in Delaware. In New Jersey, domestic violence claims claimed about 40 lives each year in New Jersey so far. At least 37 people have died in domestic violence incidents as of February 28th, 2020 in New Jersey. So that was just a small study on the abuse in different states in the United States. And once again, we know that people just won't share, people won't tell, but I'm glad I got out. So tonight, I just want to come to you also a little bit of a good friend of mine helping me spiritually. One of my friends, because I have a lot of mentors that help me in different areas. And like I said, back in 2016 is when I really got up and running and got my license and got my nonprofit status. But I'm just going to go back a year to 2015. Um, my friend, my mentor in Christ. Her name is Reverend Yvonne Johnson Larkin. She owns the funeral. She owns the funeral home in Elizabeth, New Jersey. And one Sunday, I didn't see her in church, and I stopped by the funeral home on my way from coming from preaching to the elderly at the nursing home. And when I went in, she said, "Wow, I was just thinking about you. I seen a segment on Dr. Phil about battered women." She said, "Let me ask you a question. Where are you at with getting your shelter up and running?" And I said to her, "I don't know." She said, "Do me a favor." She said, this was a Sunday morning. She said, "Don't come to me one more time and tell me you don't know. You don't need nobody. What God has given you, He's giving you." She said, "I want you on Monday morning to write down what it is you need from me." She said, "You want to use my place? You want to use my copy machines?" She said, "You're welcome." She said, "Anything." I called her up that Monday morning, and from that point, we started having round tables um, talking about abuse and what we went through, and everything we talked about was confidential. So we didn't share, we couldn't share. We signed confidentiality forms that we wouldn't share because this is why some women don't talk neither, because people run back and they tell a business. When you confide in people, when you're talking about situations like this, it is very important that we keep these women's information confidential, because you know what, if you don't keep it confidential, then they're not going to share. So I can call out a few women that came and shared with me, and they know who they are. I really don't have to call out their name, but I thank them because if they hadn't came out, maybe I wouldn't be where I'm at today. But we did this weekly. We did this once a month for a couple of months, and we really began to get a good turnout. And after that, I began to see God move on this, and that's when I started applying for my license, and then I applied for the 501c3 to become nonprofit. So that was just a small bit of how I got right here today where I'm at, not just because of the abuse, but somebody opened up their doors to me to allow me to come in and start somewhere, because everything has a starting point. Anything you want to do in life, you have to start somewhere, and there is a process. And this has not been an easy process for me, but it's what God desires of me, and I'm willing to put my best foot forward to help other women. So I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. And I'm going to give you another story because, like I said, I stayed in it for 11 years. So, I have many stories, not just one, not just two. I got a whole lot of stories. I can remember one night I was fasting, and I'm a faster. So, and I was thinking that I was fasting literally to lose weight. I was going liquid fast for 30 days, don't eat nothing, because I was all, in my mind, I always heard my husband call you fat. So, it was like a stigma for me. And I always stayed on diets, and I was always fasting, doing liquid diets, not realizing that what I was doing then brought me to the place I'm in now. It really wasn't to lose weight. God was doing that for me so that I can get to where I'm at now. So this one Pacific week before I got married. Now it was about a month before I got married, and I was fasting. And my husband was driving a cab. We owned a cab. And just this specific night, something just told me to take a different way to go home. I didn't take the normal route, but I took a different route to go home. So as I'm coming around from Western Avenue onto another street, I see the cab. I see my husband cab. But in the cab, I see a young lady sitting in the front seat. Now, we knew cab drivers couldn't have people in the front seat of their cars. So when I pulled up on him, he was stunned to see me. And oh, he had all kind of excuses, but he didn't make the excuse right then and there. His guilt kicked in, and he pulled off, and literally I almost killed myself following him and chasing him. I literally hit the vehicle with my car because I was just that angry. It is We should never get that angry. When we are pushed to that level, it is time to go. It really is. But that was before I married them. So right there, once again, I should have never married them because he had always been doing what it is he did. So once again, I'm sharing these stories because someone's gonna hear the voice. And again, I thank God that I got out. I'm one of the ones that made it out. Out of all the thousands who have died, I thank God that I made it out, and I'm here today to continue this session to encourage women that abuse is never warranted. It's something happened in that person's life where they feel like they could put their hands on you, or I've learned that I don't think we should share, like when you in abusive relationship and you get out. I feel like you shouldn't share unless God allow you to share once you're gone. Because sometimes people take your story and they use that because they know you've been through that. Well, she went through it with that person. Um, I can do it to her. No, that doesn't open the door for you to abuse someone. So once again, it is not warranted when you see it happening, when you start to see a person attitude changing, it is time to get out. I mean, we can't keep making excuses to stay in something that we know was never right for us. What we need to start doing is praying that that's the person God has for us. See, that's where we go wrong. We never pray and ask God to put the person in our life that He wants for us. We want what we want. So when we want what we want and we don't listen to the voice of God, this is what happens. Some of us live, some of us get out, some of us have marks for the rest of our lives. Again, I have some marks that you might can't see. Why? Because God can make us look good even in the midst of what we've been through. Again, if I didn't sit and share, you wouldn't know what I've been through. But I can also say that I have forgiven my abuser. I'm not mad at him at all. It's been 20 years. And after 20 years, back in November, they called my daughter and asked to speak to me and apologize. But see, I forgave him a long time ago because if I didn't forgive him, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. So I thank God that the forgiveness came way before he came and apologized. There are scriptures in the Bible that tells us that we are always to pray for those who spitefully use us and abuse us. There's even a scripture in Luke 6:28 that tell us, and that this is the English standard, bless those who curse you and pray for those who abuse you. I pray for my abuser every night because if I don't pray for him, guess what? God ain't going to continue to bless me in what he's doing. So we have to learn how to forgive. And sometimes it takes time. It's a process to forgive. God said it's okay to be angry, but don't sin. We're not supposed to go to bed with the sun down and be angry with people. So again, I thank God I'm here today. I thank God that I see that God took me through this journey so that I could be here today and encourage other young people, not just young people. You're talking about older people. You have older people, and again, men are abused too. But the statistics show that there are more women being abused and dying from abuse. So again, we have to learn how to encourage each other. People have to want to come and speak up, tell the story. I'm not fearful. Only person I'm fearful of is God. I'm not afraid of no man because the Bible tells us fear no man. So I fear no man. Only person I fear is God. So I thank God once again that I'm here. I can tell the story without being fearful. 20 years have passed, but look at me now. Look where God has me now. Coming live, telling my story, helping to encourage others. So again, I want you to post. If you know somebody being abused, people are not going to speak up. Some people listening to this and they are being abused, but guess what? Some of them don't think it's them. That's not me. Oh, yes, it is. You have to take a look at what's going on. You have to take a look at how he treats you. We are queens. We are not to be treated anything less than a queen. So once again, I want to thank you tonight. I'm not going to come on long each week. I'm just going to give you my story. I'm going to give you statistics. I'm going to keep sharing with you what God is doing in this season. Once again, this fundraiser that I have going on, it is literally to get housing to help women be able to get out. Some women won't get out. Some can't get out. Why? Because they're dependent on the abuser. Why? They have never did nothing. They always depended on the abuser to take care of them. No, some of them don't have no education. Some of them have been on a system all their life. Some of them don't even know nothing about getting out and getting jobs. Why? Because they have depended on that person so much till they feel like that's all they have. Sometimes you got to take a loss. And I believe I said that in another one of these videos. You got to take a loss in order to gain. Get out like your life depend on it if you want to live through it. So again, we don't have to depend on nobody but God because God gonna take care of it all. Lean not to your own understanding and acknowledge him in all your ways. So tonight, I thank you once again for coming on. I thank you for continuing to post. If somebody can't get this video, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube and my Instagram page so that people can see it. I ask that you continue to support this vision. It is a passion of mine, and I'm gonna do what the Lord said. Again, keep on following me, and you watch God. Even through the midst of this pandemic, how this house is going to be up and running. I'm going to promise you that before the new year comes, because I've been on a house hunt for the last maybe 4 or 5 months, and I'm going to get the house God wants me to have. Not what I want, not what I think is right, what God is going to give me. So again, I thank you for coming on. Again, I'll see you next week. Have a blessed evening. Again, continue to post, continue to support my fundraiser, and watch God what God do for you. Have a blessed evening. Come on, babe. I'm finished. I ended it.